Oh, Neville's playing with a sock. Get that sock. You get that sock. Come here. Control it. I control that sock. Okay. You give me that sock. You give me that sock. Come on. You give me that sock. Come on. I can't throw it if you don't give me that sock. I'm gonna get it. I'm gonna get it. Oops. Almost got it. I almost had it. Give me that sock. Neville. Oh. Ooh. Get that foofy. Oh my gravy. Oh my gravy. Oh my gravy. I got a sock. I got a sock. You gonna get it? You gonna get that sock? Woohoo! He gets a sock. Good job. All right, good boy. Okay. Say hi and all the highness and highnocity. I know. Oh, and it's your turn too. I sit down and suddenly it was like, oh, you're my best friend. Yeah. They already had bones, so they think if they are nice to me, they'll get more. That's my story, and I'm sticking to it. Okay. Okay, guys, go lay down. Go on. Go lay down. Okay. So, sorry about Friday. Number 4 daughter, when she moved back from Indiana, bought her own place. She bought a mobile home, and when she bought the place, there were a few things she didn't like. She wanted an AC put in. She did that. She wanted to do something she put all new windows in. And I mean, just slowly but surely she's been doing stuff. Well, now it's time for the kitchen. She bought cabinets a couple months ago and kept saving, and now she's got all the funds to do the job. So this week, originally we were going to move the gas line over. So in her place, the corner, the sink is right here, and the stove is literally right here. They butt up, the corners of them butt up. It makes no sense. So we moved we moved the stove over about a foot. Let's go with a foot. It's around there. And that way, just for reasonable sake, but above it also had this enormous, so a stove is what, 32 inches normally, 33, something like that, between 30 and 33. Okay, that thing was 42 inches, this enormous hood over it. And yeah, no. And the people that sold it to her had painted all the cabinets. We're talking mobile home cabinets, right? They painted all the cabinets, and they put so it's got 1/2 inch drywall in there. They put 5/8 inch drywall into some spot behind the stove to create a backsplash, and then put tile on top of that, so it stuck way out. It didn't look horrible. It really didn't, but she wants it gone. So this weekend was the weekend for demolition, and she got off work early and called me over there, and it was like, let's get going. So we ripped out the upper cabinets. We ripped out that tile. I'm not kidding you. That tile thing was so easy. I just pulled on the drywall once I got the crowbar behind it. I just pulled a little bit so I could get my hand in there, and then I pulled over here a little bit, and I didn't even have to jerk. I literally just pulled it away from the wall. I think I did unscrew a few screws on this side. There were no screws on that side. There were no screws holding it up on the other side. And I literally was able to just lift it and carry it out like it was nothing. It was amazing. But then we had to put drywall in, and we had to mud and do all the things. I was so worn out. I'm still worn out. I didn't even go into the other room. I can get to the Anne books, and that's one of the books that, I'm going to be reading in March. I can get to them, but I'm like, I don't, it's blasting wind. I'm so exhausted from that work, but the wind also exhausts me. And I was just like, I ain't doing it. I'm just not doing it. The heater is on because it is cold out there again. We've had the doors and windows open for the last week and a half. Yeah. Not anymore. So I've got the stove going and all is well. Here's the deal. I have to keep this reasonably short because I have banana bread in the oven and it can't burn. It's like no to the burning of the banana breadness. So yeah, I know it's a bit ridiculous. I'm watching that clock. I'm watching everything. I'm going to make sure that I don't do this. But we've talked about most of the books that I'm going to read. I'll flip through them again to show, but I'm not going to actually go over them again because I already talked about them in the middle grade March thing. I'll definitely be listening to lots of mysteries on, Audible, but, there's that. So first up, the one thing that gets done, and I say this every time, and this is the second time in all these years that I did not finish Chantal's book for Chantal Reads All Day in March. I'm only halfway through it. At first, I wasn't really enjoying it, but I'm actually starting to now. So hopefully it'll be good. But up until now, it wasn't that it was bad. It was just kind of like, So I'm glad that I'm actually starting to enjoy it, and I hope I really do, because I do love the Jeeves and Woosters by Wodehouse. But this little nugget was kind of it started off kind of weird and slow, and not weird in a bad way, just kind of like. Why should we care? So far I don't care. So yeah. But kicking off March is my Chantal Reads All Day pick. It is time for March. So time of day. I'm going to try to figure out how I can make these fit time-wise. But again, I'm doing my best, but I am not... and when it comes to like other challenges, I'm giving myself a whole lot more leeway because those, the Jane Austen one, we're doing Cecilia by Burney. I think it's Cecilia. I don't know. We're doing one by Frances Burney, and I'll look at it in a minute. But that one, yeah. Time. It's a person's name. So I'm like, well, it takes place in another time. That's pretty pathetic, but this is what we have. But The Night War, time of day, I've already talked about the book. I'm really excited. This is by the gal who wrote The War That Saved My Life and the other one. And I really loved that one. So I'm hoping I will love this too. Also, I have the Biblical Studies Challenge from Katherine over at Regional Love. And, finally, after being in here for a while, the sticker is trying to let me take it off. It would not come off before. It was, like, stuck fast. But now I pretty much have the whole thing. Cool beans. All right. So this month is missions. And I found... Salvation to the Ends of the Earth, a Biblical Theology of Missions by Andreas, somebody or another, starts like Hirschberger or something, Köstenberger, and Peter T. O'Brien. So, this is by InterVarsity Press, and I tend not to have lots of issues with them. Somebody has annotated parts of it. It got little stars here and stuff. So I'm really hoping that I'm going to love it. But so some of the things are chapter 1. The introduction is chapter 1. I've never seen that before, ever. So there's that. Chapter 2 is the Old Testament. Let me see if I can find, the Old Testament. Chapter 3 is the Second Temple period. 4 is Mark. 5 is Matthew. 6 is Luke. 7 is Paul. 8 is John. 9, general epistles and Revelation. 10, concluding synthesis. So, and then the appendix has Paul's use of Evangelion, which I'm assuming is Greek, maybe, for evangelism. What can I say? I'm not sure. But yeah, we have, it's pretty small text, but there are a lot of footnotes. I will also be continuing my Mere Christian Hermeneutics. I'll be doing chapter 3, so that'll be cool. All right, here's the thing. This is where Shatona gets really weird and pathetic, and it's like, oh, brother, what is wrong with you? I have lots of notes from How to Pray by C.S. Lewis that I want to write in my journal. Let me grab my journal. You know, I want all of these biblical studies that I can fit in this journal. I'm this far in, so not crazy far in for like 1.5 chapters worth. I still have some notes to write in. So there's a chance that I'm only going to use up maybe half of this for biblical Christian hermeneutics, you know, which means I'll be able to put How to Pray and Salvation from the Ends of the Earth and a couple others in here probably. But I want it in order. I considered turning it upside down and writing backwards for the other books that I'm not continuing over the months. I can't bring myself to do it yet. Talk me into that because I want to take the notes as I go and I kind of can't. So yeah, so that is another reading challenge that I'm doing. I'm doing the Jane Austen, as I mentioned, it's Cecilia. So there's that one. Then there's the Year of Maud. We're doing Anne of the Island this month. I'm really looking forward to it. Didn't get it out of the house, but I was going to be listening to it on Audible anyway, so that works. That's good. I'm looking forward to them being back in Patty's place and seeing Gog and Magog again and all the fun stuff that went with that. That's going to be pretty awesome. But yeah, you know, there's that one. But then I have to look at all these challenges. I don't usually do this many, but this year had a bunch of fun stuff and I wanted to do it. So there's Jane, there's Read Your Bookshelf, there's Biblical Studies, and Year of Maud, and then The Princess Bride. I'm doing it more as a bingo board. So I have several that I've already marked off. And then reading the classics. This month we're supposed to read a children's book. I'm going to read The Secret Garden. And so if nothing else, that definitely counts. So I'm doing well with the challenges, pretty well. So that's really good. Those are the books that I'm reading in addition to my middle grade March. And like I'll be listening to more Mary Stewart. I'm sure right now I'm listening to that one that Amy from Hearthridge. I can't see it right now. The one, the Pride and Prejudice, If She Accepted the First Proposal. That one. I'm listening to that right now. Barely into it, but something already kind of clicked and I went, interesting. But for parts of middle grade March, I am reading the Bletchley Riddle. Possibly a kind of spark. This is maybe. This one is definitely fitting one of the prompts. So the Jeweled Moth, the next one in the Sinclair Mysteries. I feel like that should be like so. Moongarden is one of the group reads. So I will definitely be reading Moongarden. It's like all, there you go. But yeah, so there's Moongarden. I don't know if I will read these or not, but I did pull these out as possibilities. Because they have flowers on the cover, right? The Gilded Girl and Tarnished Garden. This one is a Secret Garden retelling, and Secret Garden is definitely like the big thing this time. Road Trip Return. Can't remember which prompt it fit, but that's one. Basically, I want to write my review for it, and yeah, haven't done it right. the Beatryce prophecy. Can't remember what this prompt was, but it was a prompt and it fit. And I think I had to make that one fit though. Then we have The Secret Garden, obviously, group read, and The Enchanted Castle. So I have quite a stack. There are at least 3 right here. Kind of Spark, Tarnished, and Gilded those are only if I get to them. Mostly because the Tarnished Garden and the Gilded Girl are going to be part of my 55 and 55. If I don't like them, I'm putting them into that. We shall see. And then I have these that need to be pushed in here somewhere. Let's do it like this. So we have those. So these... Hi, how you doing? Yeah. I have a book or 2 or 3 or 4 or 5. Yeah, see. These are... they're the wrong way. I know. And I've already done my arm lifts with my weights. And so my shoulders are going, don't do it to me. But yeah, this is most of the pile. I don't know if the whole thing, yeah, there it is. The whole thing finally is fitting in the window. Hi, how you doing? Yeah, can I read? Yeah. I don't know what's wrong with me. I got issues. But I really would like to get to those if I can. But, do I have time? Yeah, I have time. Good. So, because, I had talked about maybe doing this, because I've already talked about most of those books, I'm going to do a mini-ish haul. Yeah, we're gonna do this thing. Some are books that I bought. I was gifted a few and was loaned a few, and all the fewness of yeah, stuff. So I have books coming out. I'm sorry, guys. I am so sorry. I should be apologizing to the books, but I scared you, so. They're just giving me these looks like, I don't believe you. You are just... Okay. I think these are all books that I may have shown or talked about, but I haven't done in an official haul. So we're going to start... Actually, we're going to start with the ones that Shelly sent me. So, number 1 daughter sent me 3 of Josephine Tay's books. I have listened to these on audio, but I've not physically read them. And so she sent them to me so that I can read them. And then next time I go see her, I will take them to her. So these are not officially hauled, but they're like equivalent to a library haul, right? Because I'm borrowing them and then returning them, right? So first up, we have The Man in the Queue. This is the first one that I read. It's the Inspector Alan Grant Mysteries. It said a long line had formed for standing room only section of Woofington Theatre. London's favorite musical comedy of the past 2 years was finishing its run at the end of the week. Suddenly, the line began to move, forming a wedge before the open door as hopeful theatergoers nudged their way forward. But one man, his head sunk down upon his chest, slowly fell to his knees and then, still more slowly, keeled over on his face. Thinking he had fainted, a spectator moved to help, but recoiled in horror from what lay before him. The man in the queue had a small silver dagger neatly plunged into his back. So, yeah. And the first line, let's do the first line. I don't always do this, but I think I have time, so we're going to. It was between 7 and 8 o'clock on a March evening, and all over London the bars were being drawn back from pit and gallery doors. Well, it's March. And this is March Mystery Madness or something. I don't know what they call it, but it's March and it's a mystery and we're all going mad. So, you know, so yeah, I really liked that one. That one was really good. And yeah, definitely looking forward to that one. Next up is The Daughter of Time, which is super fun because in this one, he is injured. He's in the hospital and a friend brings him the mystery of the missing prince or whatever. And he has to, solve it from his bed. It says, Inspector Alan Grant of Scotland Yard, recuperating from a broken leg, becomes fascinated with a contemporary portrait of Richard III that bears no resemblance to the wicked uncle of history. Could such a sensitive, noble face actually belong to one of the world's most heinous villains, a venomous hunchback who may have killed his brother's children to make his crown secure? Or could Richard have been the victim turned into a monster by the usurpers of England's throne? Grant determines to find out once and for all, with the help of the British Museum and an American scholar, what kind of man Richard Plantagenet really was and who killed the little princes in the tower. Yeah, it was really, really good. It's really fun how you see, you know, someone trying to solve a problem. Not all mysteries can be solved from bed, but when it's one hundreds of years old, it's really easy because you can't go examine scenes. Yeah, there's no evidence left. Okay, this one says, Grant lay on his high white cot and stared at the ceiling. Okay, I would think that is kind of interesting. Why is he on this cot and staring at the ceiling? There is also a, this says, old proverb, truth is the daughter of time. So she shows us where she gets the, shows where she gets the title. And then The Singing Sands, which is the last Alan Grant mystery. On sick leave from Scotland Yard, Inspector Alan Grant is planning a quiet holiday with an old school chum to recover from overwork and mental fatigue. Traveling on the night train to Scotland, however, Grant stumbles upon a dead man and a cryptic poem about the stones that walk and the singing sand, which send him off on a fascinating search into the verse's meaning and the identity of the deceased. Despite his doctor's order, Grant needs just the sort of casual inquiry to quiet his jangling nerves, but what begins as a leisurely pastime eventually turns into a full-blown investigation that leads Grant to discover not only the key to the poem, but the truth about a most diabolical murder. This one was really good. This one was really, really good. Okay, and the first line, it was 6 o'clock of a March morning and still dark. She really liked March. I mean, 2 out of the, I think there's 6 Inspector Grants. I'm just saying, that's 1/3 at least. So those are ones that I'm borrowing from Shalise. She also sent me Kate Greenaway's The Language of Flowers. It's a little Dover book. Really cute, really cute. It'll be good for research instead of always having to look it up online. That'll be fun. And she sent another, so we have all of these, but some of ours are completely falling apart. The Little Vera the Mouse and Vera the Mouse by Marjolaine Bastine was one of our kids' favorites. I think our kids actually liked Vera more than Beatrix Potter. Mice don't like water, people sometimes say, but I go puddle splashing every rainy day. Ladybug's the champion. She just can't be beat. Although she's the smallest, she has the most feet. And then, yeah, super cute, super cute. She sent me another one that I'm just so happy to see because I think this is one of the ones that is utterly destroyed. So that made me happy. Also, I don't remember where I was. Oh, when we went to Tehachapi last month. This book belonged to Alice. We went into several of the you know, antique stores and stuff, and some of them had little book places. Well, Ellis Peters is the one who wrote the Brother Cadfael mysteries, but I saw this one, and this one is, but this is the first in a different style mystery. Let me see if I can turn it so it's not glowing. Yeah, so it's the first Inspector Phelps mystery. I've never heard of Inspector Phelps, but it says a deadly loss of innocence. Oh my goodness. So that's a pretty dark background, can I just say? And then trying to read those words on that dark background is not fun. All the schoolboys of Comfort look up. Yeah, I think it's Comfort. Look up to Chad. Something, Wedden something Burn. A classics master who was hero of residence in world, was a hero of the resistance, not residence. See, it's really hard to read. Resistance in World War II, but they are puzzled by his unwavering stand against all violence. And when he is blamed for the brutal murder of a former German prisoner of war who settled in this remote Shropshire town, none of them believe he did it. And I'm going to stop there because this is too hard to read. It's, yeah. Anyway, it just sounded good. Interesting. Ellis Peters, who I have always thought was a man, was the pen name of Edith Pargeter, the prolific and popular author of the Brother Cadfael medieval mystery series and scores of other books. So, okay. I did not know that Ellis Peters was a woman. Okay. The war ended, and the young men came home and tried indignantly to fit themselves into old clothes and old habits, which proved, on examination, to be both a little threadbare and on trial to be both cripplingly small for bodies and minds, mysteriously grown in absence. Okay. It's not the worst opening sentence because it does really make you think, but it isn't the best written. I like the sentence contents, but I don't like how it's written. But that's just me. She wouldn't like me as an editor because I would have said, okay, we've got to work with this. This is good content. Let's yeah. I'm gonna read it again though. I'm just see if maybe it'll flow better after my brain has gotten into this thing. The war ended, and the young men came home and tried indignantly to fit themselves into old clothes and old habits, which proved, on examination, to be both a little threadbare and on trial to be both cripplingly small for bodies and minds, mysteriously grown in absence. Okay, no, it's still, it's so much good in there, but I think it's like maybe packed in too much. I don't know. There's something about it that isn't working for me, but whatever. Okay. Also, I had not planned to buy this book. I enjoyed most of what I read in the first two in this series, but I was content to be done with it. But Goodreads had a giveaway, and I was like, hey, if for some bizarre reason I win, then I'll read the third one, and if not, oh well. Well, I won, so so I got an advanced reader copy of the Maid's Secret, and I don't know what this one is about. A wedding, a heist, and a secret. So Molly Gray's life is about to change in ways she never could have imagined. She is now the esteemed head maid and special events manager of the Regency Grand Hotel. And two good things are just around the corner. A taping of the hit antiquities show, Hidden Treasures, and even more exciting, her wedding to Juan Manuel. When Molly brings in some old trinkets to be appraised on the show, one item is revealed to be a rare and coveted artifact worth millions. So I started reading the back, and I cut it off. Because it gives away a huge amount from book 2. Like, it's new news. I don't understand. Anyway, it's huge and it's got pretty large print for the advanced reader copy. So I'm assuming this will read rather quickly. So that's cool. But I did want to read the first sentence because I started this thing. I'm watching this. I think we're getting close. Gotta go fast, gotta go fast, gotta go fast. My gran loved to tell stories. Yeah, so did mine. Anyway, I talked to the author about this book, Trained to Protect by Terry Reid, on my podcast. She has written a lot of books for Love Inspired. I don't always buy Love Inspired. They're really good at sticking to the story and packing a punch and not really, getting nervous. Not really going too far, but it also sometimes strips them. But when I talk to an author or I have an author friend whose book shows up in my Walmart, I'm willing to spend the $6 it costs me to support the author and to keep getting, decent books into Walmart. If you don't buy them, they're not going to keep selling them. And I think it's kind of important. So I had talked to her, and then next time I was in Walmart, I walked by and said I should make sure that her book isn't there. And it was. So I grabbed it. Help me. I mean, it's interesting, but... next up, Kriegel sent me Crystal Coddle's Written in Secret. I spoke to Crystal on the podcast, and then she graciously sent me a copy. Well, had her publisher do it, but isn't that pretty? It's really hard to see. I'm going to move it forward a little bit. It's just so nice. Okay. So, what happens when fiction becomes reality? In the corruption-infested Queen City, danger lurks in every shadow. But Lydia Pelton refuses to stay silent. She writes under a pseudonym, E.A. Dupin, crafting crime novels to exact justice and right the wrongs she sees in society. When a serial killer decides to be the sword to her pen, Lydia is confronted with the consequences of her words. 4 men are dead, and the city blames her. Okay, we can stop right there. It's kind of cool because I have more of like a modern version of this in Manuscript for Murder-ish. Different motivations, obviously one's historical, one's not, stuff like that. But I do have kind of a similar concept, and yet totally different books. That's why there's nothing new under the sun, and that's okay because we make twists on the not new all the time. This is The Art of Love and Danger, Book 1. Okay, let's see. Oh, that's Chapter 2. We don't want Chapter 2. Let's move back to Chapter 1. Anyway, many dime novelists experienced creative blocks to their writing, but Lydia Pelton doubted any of them would stoop to impersonating a clown and rescuing a 3-legged goat from the circus to overcome them. Okay, that one I'm behind. That is awesome. That is great. I love it. Okay. All right. Next up, Kylie Woodley sent me this one. The Outlaw Hearts, Book 1, The Bandit's Redemption. So I'm going to see if I can... There we go. See? Pretty. So this takes place in like Idaho, Nevada, and Utah through there. It says, a holdup gone wrong, a reluctant outlaw, and the captive she's sworn to guard. Life in the American West hasn't been easy for French refugee Lorraine Durand. She has precious few connections and longs to return to her native land. So, when the man who rescued her from a Parisian uprising following the Franco-Prussian War persuades her to help him with a deadly holdup, she reluctantly agrees. Despite his promises otherwise, the gang kidnaps a man, forcing Lorraine to grapple with the fallout of her choices, even as she is drawn to the captive she's meant to guard. Jesse Alexander must survive, if not for himself, then for the troubled sister he left behind in Los Angeles. At the mercy of his captors, he carefully works to earn Lorraine's trust, hoping he can easily subdue her when the time comes. But as they navigate the treacherous wilderness, he searches for his opportunity to escape. He realizes there may be more to her than he first believed. With danger lurking at every turn, they must decide whether to trust each other enough to plan a combined escape or risk falling prey to the gang's devious schemes. So this is 1875, March 1875. A lot of marching going on. Los Angeles. So what do we have? Opening line. At last, it had come. It's not too shabby. You can't tell much from it, but at least we have some impetus that something might, happen. So yeah, it sounded good. It's not super thick, but it sounded good, and now I'm kind of looking forward to seeing more. I have talked about this one a lot, but this one did come in, the Castle Rose, and I haven't officially hauled it. So it's here, it's done. I have it. Beauty and the Beast meets Phantom of the Opera in New Orleans, plus beignets. That's what we're getting there. Remember my pre-order dilemma? Well, this one, I ordered it for Cozy Bookshop Mysteries. And it says mysteries leap off the page, murder and mayhem haunt 4 newly opened bookstores. So I will do all 4. I unlocked the door through the looking glass and flipped the sign on the door to open. Meh. Okay. That one doesn't grab me, but... All right. I should have listened. That's the second one. That's not too shabby. That's the one with the secret passage in it. And then it was late September. The trees in town were at their peak, and the lovely shades of yellow, orange, and red glistened along the streets. Well, it's atmospheric anyway. Missing chapter. Okay. I think that's the name of the bookstore. Anyway, the bell on the door jingled as I walked into Bayside Books and Reading Room. But anyway, 4 books. I'm really tempted to read one in March and then read one in like July and one in September and then or October and then one in like December, and I'm tempted. We shall see. That first book in that series, I bought the first one, The Rare Jewel of Everly Wheaton. And yeah, we shall see. It is signed by the author, Matthew 6:24, and it was signed to someone else. I bought this one used because I want to buy that second one and I need to read it. So this one might be a March read. We shall see. I'm going to set it on that pile so that I can get that other one. And finally, Grandma Ruth doesn't go to funerals. Haha! Something is brewing in Rayburn's Ferry, Georgia, and it's not sweet tea. So yeah. This one, I love Sharon Mondragon. We have a slight difference of theology in one area, but I'm willing to overlook it if she is. I mean, why not, right? Yeah, if you'll notice, I am like speeding up here, and that is because I'm gonna go ahead and put Shalisa's books on this pile. That is because I'm getting really close and I don't want to burn my bread. So, yeah. These are the hauled books. So, yeah, not too shabby. Like, 3 of those aren't even mine. And one of them, I will read and not keep. It's unlikely. I've only kept 1, 2. Only kept Liz Johnson's, Love Inspired. I don't usually keep Love Inspired, but I did keep Liz Johnson's, especially Kidnapping of Kenzie Thorne because we were both writing a kidnapping for someone's own good book at the same time. I felt like I needed to, you know. But yeah, that's what I got, and I'll be back with things. I have all of a sudden I have all these crazy ideas that I want to do, and I'm like, they come right when I'm tired and dead, and yeah. What you reading? You got your March all planned out? You gonna follow it? I don't know. And you know what? I forgot to even talk about time with the books I'm reading, and I'm not gonna do it now, but I'll do that at the end of the month. That'll work, right? Yeah. Oh, I will be back with what I read because I have to talk about Thoroughfare and a few other books that were really, really good. So yeah, I shall see you hopefully Friday without, we're doing this whole demolition. So who knows what I'm going to be doing, but hopefully Friday I shall see you.